Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Warsaw, the capital of Poland, with my good friend David. David, would you care to introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm David. I'm born here in Poland, I live in the UK, but came down especially for this march. And can't wait to see how it turns out. A lot of numbers here, so...
So we are here at the Independence March. Is that a fair way to put it, Independence March?
Independence March, yeah.
This is one of these festivities that has been deemed as fascist or extreme right-wing, or however you might want to call it. But indeed, we got here families and normal people. So we are just going to wander around a little bit, interview a few people, check out some pierogi, some Polish woman, some vodka. Are you old enough to drink?
Absolutely. The march has been a big thing, especially for the past 6 years.
Yeah.
Numbers have been growing, and obviously for the 100th anniversary it's going to be huge numbers, expected to be over 100,000. And it's just general Polish people, no fascist groups. You know, you may get the odd one, but
actually, you could actually make a historical argument that it's impossible to be a fascist and Polish at the same time. But
well,
what do I know?
We're celebrating liberty from the fascists, the Nazis, and there's a Soviet Union as well. So it's the very thing. You know, we're celebrating the end of. So I don't quite understand how we could be the people we're celebrating being free from. You know, there was a YouTube campaign not long ago.
Yes.
And it was people saying Polish death camps, trying to make a thing about.
Yes, I remember that.
Yes, trying to make a thing about it being Polish people who, you know, committed the Holocaust pretty much, and you know, huge outrage here obviously about that. Because it's all false, and it's all shoving it down people's throats in those adverts before the videos. And it's just, you know, you can see why people here are angry.
People here seem to be partying a little bit more, actually.
Absolutely. We heard, you know, just under a week ago that this was going to be banned by the mayor of Warsaw. And the president took it upon himself to say, no, it's not going to be banned. I want the march to go ahead. But he did, you know, show some concern about people from the extreme right wing coming along, which is what he didn't want, and it's probably what we don't want either. We want this to be, you know, civilized and no violence, obviously. And I think we're going to achieve that today, because a lot of families here, a lot of normal people.
How do you feel actually as a Polish person being here who is been in England for a long time? And I mean, England is so cucked, it's not even funny anymore, and here you have like normal people just celebrating themselves.
You know,
their identity.
I wish I was here for longer. I definitely want to come back here because, you know, it's a country that's proud of itself. In England, you can't say anything on Twitter, for example, because the police will be on your back. Here, you can, you know, you speak your mind, you're proud of your country. In England, you hold up a British flag and you're called a Nazi, so...
Well, then take a look around how many flags are here. Listen, it's all normies, basically.
Yeah, this is a norm in Poland. This is a norm in Poland.
This is actually also a normie in Serbia and Croatia as well.
Yeah.
But a different flag. And by far more drunk. How are you feeling today, man?
Great. I'm here to celebrate 100 years of Polish regaining of independence. As you can see, there is probably around 100,000 people here.
It's massive.
It is. And you can't see any fascists, no Nazis, just patriots.
And you say that because that has a reason, right?
Yes, of course, because the mainstream media image of us is that we hide here and we do all the Nazi stuff, which is bullshit because we don't. We are just normal guys who want to celebrate, to show the world that we are proud of being Polish, that we're proud of our history, that we're proud that we are the ancestors of people who fought for Europe, for Poland, for world against all plagues that one can imagine.
Was saving Europe 2 times an error?
Well, that was a necessity. Actually, 80% of Polish media is actually German, so I wouldn't say it's completely different.
Excuse me?
Yes, it's German capital. 80% of Polish press, TV channels is foreign capital, mostly German.
So they push the narrative of these countries?
Oh, yes, of course. I'm more than sure that tomorrow you'll be able to listen to the radio or to watch a TV or to read a newspaper that 100,000 Nazis marched through Warsaw in Polish newspapers, which, of course, as you can see here, is bullshit.
I wasn't actually prepared for this, to be honest.
The experiment was that once upon a time, French wanted to buy one of the German newspapers in Germany, and everybody was like angry. Well, how can you buy a German newspaper? And at the same time, most of Polish the newspapers are actually German, and nobody sees anything wrong about it because it's a free market and so.
Do you read the mainstream media in English language, or I don't know if you speak German? Maybe you read German too.
Sometimes I do read the Der Spiegel.
Oh, German Jesus Christ! That's Der Spiegel is a left-wing radical outlet, really.
I read also the German newspapers. I mean, the German capital newspapers, which are printed in Poland, and I sometimes compare it to the one that we claim they are Polish because they actually are, and you can see almost no difference between the German newspaper printed in Poland and the German newspapers printed in Germany. So I would say the same narrative.
Do you feel safe in Poland?
Yeah,
as a woman?
I still feel safe. For example, in comparison to, for example, Sweden, these days, I feel completely safe for now here.
For now? Is there a change of demographics happening here just as well as it's in especially France or Sweden or even Norway?
Well, actually, there is, because there is a lot of immigrants, not really from the Middle East, say, but from Ukraine, from Nepal, Bangladesh, all those Muslim and Asian countries. So yes, Poland is changing, and you can see that if you just look on the streets, you can see a lot of foreigners walking by. There's nothing wrong in it, of course, but yes, it changes. However, I've heard recently that there are safe zones for women in Berlin, and that means that anything outside the safe zone, the woman shouldn't feel safe, I guess.
Yes, I had actually a little talk yesterday with a nice lady about that. The women in Germany tend to flock together and not to go out anymore alone and to do whatever they used to do. It's getting more and more conservative, as a matter of fact, because all of a sudden you need a man. All of a sudden, you need a group of people. All of a sudden,
for example, in France, you only go out with a group of people. No woman can walk safely going alone. For example, not only in the night, but during the day.
This is absolutely correct. And by the way, my documentary from Paris, it's not done yet. But it's going to be awesome. I know I'm promising this since like a half a year, but it's going to come out for sure. Yes, I've been in France myself to do this documentary, and there was one of my videos that kind of went totally viral. It had like 180,000 views or something. It was just me walking from Paris, and I was the only white person for like half an hour of walking through the inner city. How do you feel about that?
How do I feel about being the only white man in Europe? It's quite strange.
In a big classical European capital.
Yes, I used to live in London for some time, so I perfectly know what you mean. And well, we should be cool about it, I guess. But it somehow evokes some fear in us, of course, because it's just foreign. It's just something that we don't know, and we probably could just get used to it if it wasn't for that these kind of people sometimes make troubles, right? Of course, our people sometimes make troubles as well.
Oh man, the more people that come, the better it gets. Oh yeah. Haven't even started moving yet, and look how many people there is.
Hey, it's getting really crowded here slowly, and this guy here is from, where are you coming from?
Belgium.
And you are Polish?
From Poland, yeah.
But you're also here from Warsaw?
No, I'm from Rzeszów. It's near Ukraine. Yeah.
How do you feel?
I'm celebrating 100th anniversary of our independence. So for me, it's a very special day. I'm very proud to be Polish, and when I see these people, I'm very happy. And
how do you feel, man?
I feel a little bit overwhelmed because it's my first time with festivities like this on a national day, and
you don't have that.
We have that in Belgium, but I never went there. And today I was in Warsaw by accident, so I was like, why not?
So you just kind of went to the city, said like, yeah, I'm just gonna go to Warsaw, and then all of a sudden, like, what is happening?
All of a sudden, I saw a lot of flags. So and I thought like maybe I can just see what happens.
Like as a Western European, especially as a Belgian, would you like to have something like this on a national level too in Belgium?
Me personally, no, because I'm not really into like I'm Belgian, you're Polish. Like I'm not really national minded. I really don't. I'm not proud to be Belgium. It's just like it happens. It's a coincidence, and I really don't care. That's why I never go to like parades in Belgium, because it doesn't say anything to me. It's interesting to be in another country to witness how people are feeling about this day and how they are celebrating.
Why are Western Europeans afraid of their own identity so much?
I don't know. We were talking about, because he's from Belgium, yes. And a year ago, one guy from Belgium, Verhofstadt.
Jesus, this mutant, all right? This super ugly dude, or what? This politician, you mean, right?
Yeah. And he
ugliest man in politics so far. Incredible.
Last year, he called this march, these 60,000 people, neo-Nazis. It's just funny because as a Poland, we were fighting with Nazis. So for me, I don't understand this. Yeah. How neo-Nazis was fighting with Nazis. I'm confused because it's
Verhofstadt's logic.
It's also very sad that he called us because
Well, you know, I think he actually wanted to provoke a little bit, you know. And the other thing is, why? What kind of a concept is behind this? Can you imagine that? Because it is like this: it's only the Western politicians and the Western media. So there is something behind that. I mean, you're not getting this from Croatia. You're not getting this from Hungary. You're not getting this from Serbia. You're not getting this from even Russia. You're not getting that's.
I think most of them are radical leftists, and we are just patriotic and they don't like something like this. They want to be multicultural or something. But we accept most of every people in Poland. But we feel proud to be Polish. You know, we want to be Polish in Poland.
In Belgium, it's 100% that the Belgian media is covering this as a neo-Nazi meetup, like a fascist meetup with dangerous baby killing and eating people. Do you have the impression?
No, because when he told me that half an hour ago, it was literally the first time I heard about that. Verhofstadt said something like that.
We are open for the people from every country, you know.
Belgian politicians are as bad as any other politician, so yeah, I really don't care.
That's completely true. Hey man, I mean this is incredibly huge. This is just the biggest one ever.
Yeah, it's getting bigger by the moment.
What is your YouTube channel called anyway?
So my YouTube channel is called Southside TV, and Southside TV. I run it with a friend.
Yeah.
And so far we've been to the feminist march in London. I think that was back in February or March. We interviewed Diane Abbott, and you won't be disappointed.
Who is this Diane Abbott?
She is a Labour politician.
How you did that?
She is thick. She does not like grasp concepts of anything. Oh. She just I don't know how she got into.
Oh, as you said thick, I thought you were meaning fat.
Oh, both.
Oh, right. Okay.
So yeah, make sure to check us out. You know, we don't post as regularly as we'd like to, but hopefully with a bit more support, we will do.
You know, to be fairly honest to you, I feel completely normal. You know, but the Belgian guy, this poor dude, who didn't.
He did not expect this when he turned
Yeah,
up.
you know, this is incredible how like these Western Europeans are completely divorced from their own culture and identity. That this is somewhat of a frightening thing for them.
Yeah, but they're made welcome by everyone here. It's not like specifically that terrifying for them because they're made welcome by everyone here. So
it's also a psychological thing, you know. If you are in a position where you don't know, you don't have like the self knowledge, which is like the basis of your identity, then you're totally fucked. I mean, Belgium is also a hybrid nation. It's actually a completely fake nation. It's like fairly new. It's not like one ethnicity. It's like two different, you know. Now that's actually not good too. You can see it. It's like a freak show for the poor dude.
But it's a good experience for him to have, you know.
Yes,
definitely a good experience. For someone who's like never seen something of this scale, especially, it's like a great experience. As frightening as it may be.
Do you think that he is? Do you think that he is going to be red pilled by this?
I hope so. I hope so.
I don't think so. I think he's gonna take this as a one-time experience, and then when he's back home, it's gonna dilute a little bit. You know?
Well, hopefully we're wrong about that.
What do you think? What can like Western Europeans do? Let's be honest. These people are getting replaced. Like ethnically replaced, flipped. Like as I told you, Paris was like a complete disaster.
Exactly. And that's why it's important for countries like this, like Poland, like Hungary, you know, to keep their national identity because they're one of the few. They're one of the few because any major city in, you know, the big countries, you've got France, Germany, UK. It's just you've seen a massive flip in like culture and everything.
Yes.
And you know, a lot of English people, they don't care about the colour of your skin. They care about your behaviour. And if you bring a culture that's, you know, violent, abusive, they don't like that. They don't care about your skin colour. And it's a common misconception, especially with politicians. They just tend to label them racist or, you know.
How are you feeling, man?
I feel very great about this march, and it's so cool.
Tell me please, why are Western Europeans so cucked?
I think they don't understand the approach of Poles who are here, because we are mostly saying about stuff that Europe they don't agree on, because it's like about the refugees, it's about the identity, like the national identity. It's not about the fascism and the, you know, the Nazism as people are saying about Poles. It's just about the identity of the nation. We are not against any other identity, any other nation. So we are not against, for example, French identity and the national people of France, let's say German and the stuff. So I think that's mostly against of the I think the idea of the European Union nowadays. Nowadays, let's say citizens of France, like original citizens of France, they are in minority and the stuff. I'm just like it's just approach, because I know in some countries it's actually happening that the original people they are actually becoming minority, not the majority of a country. I don't know if that's the approach of the multicultural idea of Europe. I don't know if that tends to the end of the Europe itself, of the people of Europe. I don't know. Maybe that's the reason they don't want, I don't know, Europe to be so much of a national inhabitants.
Well, the thing is that a multicultural state is actually always in a state of internal conflict until another culture wins, and then kind of have something of a state for some time until it gets flipped again, you know. And yeah. And the question is there, you know, like if you kind of see the results of this strange experiment going on. I mean, you got gang rapes in Sweden, in Germany, even in Austria, mass stabbings, terrorist attacks,
yeah, exactly.
and terrifying rates of crime, of dispossession, and all of that. And yet there is like no way that these people are going to stop this. But it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, but maybe you have an idea.
Yeah, I thought about that. Western European countries, they are more
like more socialism. They just want to introduce that idea because they want to equalize people, but they don't understand that anyone who is coming to Europe from abroad of Europe, they have completely different cultural background, so they cannot integrate with us. That's the reason. I don't know. I think they don't understand that simply. That's it. Because they also what they think about these events of Poland. Let's say what's happening in Poland. They think that this is going to like we are discriminating other cultures, other nations, other, let's say, I don't know, nationalities, other people with a different color of the skin. You know, I'm talking to you. You are from abroad. You are fine with this. Yes, you are walking around this march and you are feeling great with that. I think. Do you have any problem with this with the people? May I ask you the question? Do you have any problem?
Well, no. First of all, I'm a South Slav, so like I understand everything. We kind of have a somewhat of a similar culture, so that's okay.
Yeah, but what Western Europe, what they are saying that we are making problems. We are like a fascist, so we shouldn't accept you here. Why are you here? We don't we accept you? You are fine with this. We are fine with you being here. There are also people who are black. There are children here. There are very old people here. There are people who are having different approaches of a country as well. But mostly the people here are from a right-wing approach, and Europe is left-wing. They don't understand this. I don't know. They don't.
Actually, they're communists. They're kind of closed communists.
Yes. Even that. Yeah. Let's just name the things, yeah, because they are, they really want to give. I heard from some sources that when I think Netherlands or Belgium, when they wanted to fight with immigrants and the approach of a socialism and the benefits they are giving, so they decided to cut off the spending of the social benefits. Yes, so maybe they opened their eyes on that. So maybe they should understand that this is the approach they should go into. They should just they should limit completely the benefits of people who are coming, as well as the social approach is bad here in Western Europe nowadays. That's actually making Europe to die itself. This is just happening, and most of the people. I'm not against. As I said, I'm not against, for example, Muslims. I'm not against Jews. I have a lot of friends from different cultures. I was studying international business, so I was moving around Europe as well. I was traveling. I'm going to Thailand next week, so I'm traveling.
Great man, doing fine. That's an intelligent idea.
Yeah, so I'm accepting people. I'm not against them. I'm just about when I'm going to a given country, I would like to see, for example, when I'm going to Germany, I would like to see Germans. I would like to see their culture. Experience this. You are not experiencing this. This is like dying itself. It's not about the war. It's not about fighting. But people, they are not accepting this.
Do you actually read Western mainstream media sometimes?
Sometimes, yes. Sometimes.
Does it hurt?
Yes, sometimes, yes, really. By the names of Poles and everything what is happening in Poland nowadays with our government. I'm actually, the governments, they claim that they are right-wing. They are not so much right-wing. They are, of course, pro the history stuff and pro of the, the church and the stuff like that. So this is the approach is kind of a right-wing, but the let's say economical point of view is very left-wing. So I'm not pro of the government. I would like even more of a, capitalism into Poland.
Libertarianism.
Yeah, exactly. That's the approach. So I don't know. They are sometimes claiming that we are having like a fascist, and they are doing everything against. People in Europe, they have no idea what was happening before this government gets power. They are ruling now. They have no idea what was the background before. We hated. You can imagine. We hated the people. I mean, the people. They hated so much the past government. So they voted for this new government so that they have the only electoral rights. They have like the the whole power of the government. They don't have to make any coalition because they are ruling themselves. So you can imagine how much, you know, how much people were angry at the past government. That's the change, yes. And
well, it's the basic democracy, you know.
Exactly, and they are claiming that we have no democracy. I don't know, maybe people were voting, I don't know, they were not voting, they were not choosing, you know.
It's totally fun that most of these remarks is coming from Angela Merkel, who is everything but not a Democrat.
Exactly.
This is more, it's
communism.
Not, but actually it's not even Stalinistic, it's something in between, you know, it's like,
yes.
it looks a little bit democracy-like, but it's not really, you know, she's using also the state police and state organs to spy on the opposition, to ruin them, to defund them and all of that.
Yes.
So it's weird times. Actually, it's really weird times we're experiencing here.
Yes.
Especially, you know, now that French are going to be a minority in their own country.
Yes.
In, I think 7 years time, 8.
Yeah,
I'm not sure,
I think like I saw some YouTube video about children being born in the countries like, I think it was the Netherlands. Most of the, like, majority of children, newborn children, they are Muslim from a Muslim culture, from a Muslim background. I'm not against them, but they are just taking the country. Then the people of a given country, they have to understand this. They will be in a minority, and what's then? What's the implication of that? How do you accept democracy? Democracy was like, you know, we have democracy in Poland. Now we have majority of Poles live in Poland. We have the right to choose, yes. But let's imagine, like just imagination. We have, let's say, 50% of some people from Muslim culture and you know, Arabic countries and stuff like that. So now we have elections. Who are they going to choose? Are they going to be really in a favor of our way of thinking, of Poles, like of our way of thinking? Are they really in favor of this? What we want to really implement, the Poles want to implement in our country? I can understand that they are, for example, okay, someone is living 15 years, they get the citizenship of the country and the stuff. But most of these people, they are still left-wing. They just don't want to accept the culture. They don't want to accept what is happening in Poland, for example, nowadays. So this is the problem for European Union, because in the future there will be even no sense, even nonsense for going to elections, because always the people from different cultures will vote for a country of your nationality. So that's it.
Okay. Up there is a German TV dude filming this for the state media. This is the wicked part. And he's got battle gear on. He's got a helmet of some kind. He's got a security vest. So he's afraid to kind of get, I guess, battered.
And look how many people have thrown stuff at him.
Yeah.
No one. Absolutely no one.
This is so embarrassing.
But he's scared because he knows the news channel aren't going to portray the truth. They're going to lie. And he knows the people will be furious.
Cześć i chwała bohaterom! Cześć i chwała bohaterom!
Listen, man, there is a very important part to all of this. I mean, we're seeing here kids all over the place, and they're experiencing patriotism and identity from the beginning. So there's no way that they are going to grow up to be that cucked as the Western nations.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's why the people marching here are patriotic, because they were brought up like this, and then they bring up their kids like this, and they continue. You know, we continue like this. For example, in the UK, complete opposite. In school, they teach you, you can be whatever gender you like, and the UK's racist, blah blah blah, and that's what they teach the kids. And kids don't want to be proud of the UK.
Well, all in all, these were around how many? 150? No, 200,000 people.
200,000. I got a call from a person there watching it on TV right now, national TV, and they're estimating over 200,000. So insane numbers. Really.
That's proper.
That's, I don't think anyone expected a turnout of 200,000. But, it's happened and it's incredible. It really sends a message out, to the rest of the world. Shows what country we are.
Yeah, the thing is also, when you say sending out a message, this is, I think, obviously, let's be real, in Great Britain, in Germany and all of these other countries, this is going to be reported by the mainstream media as one of the biggest fascist marches of all time. But today alone, it should have been around maybe 1 million Instagram posts, over 1 million Facebook posts being done with the new media. Look, we're doing this here too as well. You're watching this and we're reporting here just what we are experiencing, and it's nothing less than just a blast. It's really awesome. And there are so many people that it's just absolutely mental. If you kind of view around us, the people still incoming, and this is going to go on for hours. By the way, interesting enough, we had here obviously dudes. This is a dude thing. Demonstrating is a dude thing. Having torches and everything. That's totally manly. But this is not only dudes. It's basically half-half, really. Half male, half female. A lot of children. You can view that or hear that around us, and even small puppies, small nice dogs. So how the mainstream media in Western Europe and the US and Canada is going to make this a Fash Fest, I don't know. They're gonna try to flip it, definitely.
Oh, they'll try, but they're running out of ideas, and they've been trying to run this narrative for way too long, and people can see, because as you said, the social media posts, the YouTube videos, there's nothing to report on. There was no violence, nothing. The only thing to report on is the sheer numbers and the proper patriotism shown by everyone here. It's been a great march, and yeah, other countries have to learn from us. Do it the Slav way.
All right, we're gonna go and get wasted now and go squatting.